Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to use AI, specifically Adobe Express AI, to design a professional looking book cover from start to finish. Now before we dive into Adobe Express, let's talk about the first and most crucial step in creating a book cover: research. Take a few minutes and browse other book covers in your genre or category. It's one of the best ways to gather inspiration and see what works and what doesn't. Once you got some visual ideas in mind, we'll jump into Adobe Express and start building your cover. But before we do that, here's a bit of a backstory. In May, I published a video on my tech publishing YouTube channel titled Top 5 Tools Every Creator Needs in 2025. In that video, I asked AI to suggest a few creative book ideas, and one of the responses was Wanda the Friendly Widow, a not-so-scary spider tale. Now that's the book title we're going to design in our cover today. Now, being a little lazy or just efficient, I went back to ChatGPT-4 and asked it to come up with a sample book cover. Honestly, it looks great out of the gate. I also requested that ChatGPT provide me with the specific prompts to use with Adobe Express, including ideas for layout, font, imagery. In this tutorial, we'll use those exact prompts to guide our design process. So yes, it's a bit like asking one AI to help you prompt another AI. Quick note, I'm relatively new to Adobe Express. I usually work with Photoshop and other design tools, so expect a few mistakes along the way. But that's part of the fun, right? Let's get started. Okay, to start off, I want to let you know I do have an Adobe account, a cloud account. And so I do have Adobe Express as part of my account. But we're going to go out here in my browser and Google, and we're going to type in Adobe Express, come down here to Quick and Easy and open it up. So we're kind of coming through the back door, and it comes up. And this pops up because it is my account. So we're kind of bypassing, going right into the start of Adobe Express. And so this is what it looks like. If you want to know how much I've used Adobe Express, here's all I've done in Adobe Express since I've had it. So I am new to it just as much as you are. I've got maybe 4 projects that I'm working on. This is the one we're going to be working on right now. So anyway, we start out here and we can create whatever we want. We can generate with AI. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my account. So we're going to close this window. And this is going to my account, and what I did is I already started with one page. So I went in here, and there's usually a plus sign right here. You click on that plus sign and you start doing what you want to do. What I have here is a page that, first of all, the first thing I did, I'm not in a habit of doing this, is I set up the size of the page. So I set up a Kindle size of a page, which was 6 inches by 9 inches. So this is my size of my page. The next step we're going to do is put media in there. So I'm going to go over here to media, click right here. And I got an opportunity to upload a device or generate AI, which is what we're going to use. And we're going to go back and we're going to take what ChatGPT-4 came up with as a prompt, and we're going to put it in first. And this will be our prompt for a background. And it says, create a cheerful cartoon forest scene with green hills, 2 friendly trees on either side, a blue sky, large spider web in the center, make it colorful, lighthearted, and non-threatening, suitable for kids, ages 5 through 8. Use a flat vector art style with smooth lines and no harsh shadows. And by the way, that's what we're going to load in. But down below it also gives us some style tips that we can use once we're using it inside of Adobe Express. So we're going to copy this. Whoop, don't want that part, I just want the prompt itself right there. And go to Control C. I'm going to move this back on my other screen. I can get it picked up. And I'm going to go in here to the prompt and drop in whatever prompt. Now we have options like whether it's going to be art, graphic, photo, or auto. I'm going to leave it as art. We might change it. We'll see. Come down to generate. Okay, now we have our image. We got a couple examples here. This one's kind of silly in the fact that it's going up in the sky. This is the only one that's actually in between the trees. So I'm going to switch over to that. Now, if we don't like what pictures we have, we can come down and actually generate more pictures. Normally what happens, a little secret in working with AI that I found, is the fact that what you get on your first request is usually your best image. So we'll take a look and see if I'm wrong on this. It could be. Yeah, see how each one gets wilder and wilder. However, this one versus this one, this seems to be more of a real life example, but it looks like there might be a spider there. And so I don't know if we want to use that. If I was going to really use this, I would put a little more work into this. But since we're just cruising along here trying to show you how this program works, I'm going to go with what we have right here. And I'm going to double click on it, come back to edit, and under edit we have what's called set background. So our option was to stretch this if we wanted to, or if I do set background, it will fill the whole page, our 6x9 book page cover. I'm happy, frankly, with the brightness of it. If you want, you can come down here and you can change the brightness and the color and do it all. But I'm happy with that. Once again, down here we have our prompt for the main spider character. Insert a friendly smiling cartoon black widow spider with big eyes and a round body. The spider should be hanging slightly from one of the webs, hovering gently. The style should be cute, not creepy, designing for children with smooth outlines and expressive face. Then if we want to look online for a cartoon, he's given us a prompt of what we can put in to actually find something that's already done. So let's go ahead and go with this prompt. Kind of select it, do Control C, move it out of the way, come back over here, generate. I think we can do probably a square one, and Control V, we put in our little thing, and when we have generate, and that looks pretty good. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the background right here. And it does a super job of that. Wow, I like that. And then we're going to come up here and kind of make our spider stick out. Kind of looks good right smack in the middle there. Okay, let's I'm gonna see if we can zoom out on this. Yep, we can. Control minus zooms out, and so now we see how it looks in the page. Gotta realize we gotta still add our title. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get out of the media section and move to the text section, and we're going to add our text. And we're going to come down here and we're going to put our text at the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add Wanda, and what I'm going to do is increase the size so that it kind of fills up the screen. And then what we're going to do is remove that up here. It might be a little too tight, but we're kind of rushing along here. We can adjust things later. So we have the word Wanda, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to add, will be the Friendly Widow. So I'm going to capitalize the Friendly Widow. And it's about the right size. And we're going to take it and we're going to move it up. And you notice we have some lines to show us where the middle is. I don't know if we lined this one up on the middle or not. And we also have a subtitle. And the subtitle is Not So Scary Spider. And we're going to pull this out a little bit. And actually we're going to shrink up, since this is a subtitle, I'm going to shrink it up a little bit. You can follow the guides that pop up, but I'm just trying to hurry along here. So anyway, we have our 3 items here. So I'm going to click on Wanda, and what that does, it brings up some ideas over here, like effects and so forth. And I'm going to add a shadow. That's a little too much. That's probably about right. So we're going to do is select Wanda, and we're going to change the font. Let's just go down here real quick, just showing you that there are other options here, something that maybe it looks a little more fun. If we get down here, we can see there's a Harmons and then there's a Hobo. Let's try that Hobo. Yeah, just a little bit, but you kind of see the idea here. We're also going to add a black outline. We're going to change our second line the same way. We're going to add the black line behind it, our font, and then what we're going to do is go and we're going to do the Hobo again. And so we have that, and then we're going to add a shadow. Let's go down here to the classic shadow. And now that shows up. Now you see how that shows up. This one here, what we're going to have to do is probably give it some contrast and probably add a block behind it. So in order to save time, I've just already put in a block here. It has a kind of... So we could come back here real quick and add a author's name. I'm just going to put author. So we have the author's name, and we're going to drag it down here, and I think that shows up good enough. And so there's our book cover. Now after all this work, I'm going to show you something special. And what I did is I went back to ChatGPT 4 and I asked it to come up with its cover based on what we have right here, except for the names. And here's what ChatGPT 4 came up with. So you see, all this can be done through AI. It can be fast. If anything, even if you want to recreate this yourself, it gives you the concept. It saves you a lot of time just by giving you the concept of how to do something. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.